Hey, Joe here from Back to Basics Health Solutions. I have the lovely Chantel with me today. I know I do. I put these ladies on the spot and I go, hey, we've had such a great session. You want to do a live? And they're like, sure, because their self-confidence is increasing. So I wanted to share a little bit of a story. One's called Putting It on the Back Burner, Procrastinator, Thinking It's Too Hard. So tell me, you've just come in, this is your first session after starting, but how long did it take you to come in and see me?
So it took me about 2 years before I finally decided that I really needed to do something.
Why did we wait so long? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Now, and one of the things, when I first talk to people, I do what's called a discovery session. We go through a few things and we chat about stuff, and I need to find out what's your why, what's your motivator. One of the biggest motivators for you was you enjoy horse riding and you actually weren't doing it. So this was one of your driving forces, that you really were missing out on doing something that you enjoy so much. Is that right?
Yeah, and I also felt bad about it because, you know, my weight, like my horse has to carry that weight. And,
yeah.
You know, it's all right if you're just walking around, but we do some pretty high speed sporting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, you know, he's got to carry me around and...
Yeah. So you're feeling guilty because, you know, you put on the weight, the horse is now carrying, you know, the saddle plus you, plus the activities, and you're like, well, that's not really fair on them.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, exactly, yeah. So I, yeah, I just, and it's also, it's like, you know, a lot of people think you just sit there, but you know, you use a lot of muscles when you ride, and it's also, it takes it out of you.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, you know, I go to a friend's place for a lesson and 5 minutes into it, I'm dying. So I was like, I've got to get some fitness back as well as like get my muscles moving so I can actually hang on and, you know, communicate with my horse with my legs and everything, which eventually just go to jelly.
Yes, exactly. I know what it's like. I've done horse riding, you get off and you're like, hang on, I can't walk. Now, the other thing when we had during our discovery session, you said to me, I don't like cooking, or I don't cook much, and we know you work from home. So we've come from a lady in like 10 days that says, Joe, I don't really like cooking, but we've worked out a few things, and because when we do the Healthy Living program, the reason my company's called Back to Basics Health Solutions, but Back to Basics, is we bring it back to basics because you and I are different people, but we probably eat very similar. So what we did, and I like paper, but Chantel's written her stuff down. But tell me, from the lady who was not really enjoying cooking for the lady who's actually doing stuff in 10 days and going, oh, it's pretty easy, Joe. I'm actually doing a lot more and I'm enjoying it and I'm cooking my own food.
Yeah, well, I was definitely, you know, you go to a party or even my, you know, my parents or whatever, my sister's like, yeah, can you bring plates or a drink? Kind of thing, because like, I ain't cooking.
Yeah.
Not even salad.
But now I've got like 10 days worth of good breakfast, lunch and dinner all here. And tell me, how does it make you feel? So in this short time, from, as I said, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, to 10 days into now, what's the big difference that you've had?
Well, big difference for like when I first started, because I messaged you, I was like, oh my god, I'm overwhelmed, I'm freaking out, going, I've got to cook and I've got to do the kitchen thing going on. But yeah, now I'm like, you know, cooking bacon and eggs every morning, and we're having steak and
meat,
pork,
salad, allergies,
chicken and salads for lunches, and yeah, like the first few days it was like, oh gosh, got to get all this stuff ready and do stuff, and
but it's not that hard, hey?
No, now it's just kind of a routine. So yeah, but
and that's the thing that I just said, because Chantel's got her own business, so she had structure in her business world. So she works from home, she has clients on board, she keeps all these things in line. What was happening is that she was failing in the kitchen world because she's what I call a free radical. She had a big love of, and we both have a love of this, but she had a big love of
pizza, cream,
chai lattes.
Oh, chai lattes.
She's a chai latte girl, just like me. But what happened was she was having way too many chai lattes, and what would happen, and I enjoy a chai latte, and I have mine in moderation, and I call it a treat. So I might have one on a Saturday morning. But what was happening in Chantel's world is that she's having one in the morning, and then it's like, oh, well, I'm at home. Oh, I'm a little bit hungry. Oh, I'll have another one. I might grab up after lunch. I might have another chai latte. So all of a sudden, these chai lattes were coming higher and higher, and sugar was giving sugar. And now I've shared with her the secret magic in actually reading this. She's like horrified. She goes, oh my God, Joe, I cannot believe how much food I was eating. And it's not even really a food, it's just a drink. It does make you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, but now that we've changed it, so in 10 days, also, give or take, 2.6 kilos. Go you. And she's also taken off size. So normally the chest, she said, I knew the chest would go full at first. It's about 4 centimetres. But the good thing about that is that when we lose that chest component, we're losing this fat that's coming in here, and this is the part that then pushes the boobs together, and this is when we always feel quite hormonally or be heavy busted. So 4 centimetres is really good. It's almost like, oh, okay, I'm starting to breathe now. I don't feel as chunky in the top. But even when we come down and your waist was 2 centimetres, and even though I do the measurement, I said around your bottom, but it's the bottom of your belly, because down at the pubic bone, depending on where your belly starts, but we normally have a little bit down there. But you've taken off 5 centimetres, which is actually quite a lot. So that bloatedness has probably come down. So what are the things that you've noticed and you felt different in like from where you were? So you said to me you're more tired, even though you had a few headaches in the beginning. But you were tired before.
So I always get tired because I tried to like keep a bit of a journal when I very first started. So I was tired like around 11 and 3 for the first few days, like really tired. I had to go to bed. And I'd got a few headaches, and I was hungry a little bit at the start. But now, like, I could probably
fat burning.
I could probably not eat lunch some days, but I'll make sure I do, especially because I try and exercise every day, because I'm at home, so I try and exercise around lunchtime, and then I'll have my lunch after that. So that I'm feeling a bit hungry and
when we balance now her fats, her proteins, her carbohydrates, but we have them the correct way. I normally say it takes about 72 hours for your body to start transitioning over, because in the first few days she's like, oh my God, Jo, you're going to kill me, I'm hungry. But now she says to me 10 days in, well, actually, Jo, I'm not hungry. Sometimes I don't even really feel like having that lunch component. So from this lady that I spoke to 2 weeks ago to the lady I'm speaking to today is totally different. But I can even feel that you feel stronger already in being self-confident with yourself. You're more structured with yourself, and this is then now paying you dividend results, and your dividend results are showing whether you want to be on your scales, but it's showing because you feel freaking good. You sound good.
Absolutely.
And more control.
So
that's great.
Sure.
Okay, watch this space. We will have more as we go through in the next couple of weeks and months or so, and start watching Chantel's results. But thank you for joining me today and sharing how freaking easy it is.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, see you later.